Hi Ravi, can you hear me? Uh, Hi Suganya. Hi Preet. Hi. Hi. Can you all see my screen? 2023.1, I guess. 23.1, yeah. Latest version. Hello. Hi Sai Priya. Okay. So today we are going to discuss about the Tableau session 9. So whoever joined today, so this is the Tableau session 9. And if you need the beginning sessions, like Tableau 8 sessions, which we have completed already. Hi Rakib. Okay, so hello. So this is the Tableau session 9. So if you are interested in listening to the previous sessions, you can go through the previous videos that are uploaded in the YouTube, or I will keep a session for the newcomers who have joined today, like Sai Priya, Rakib, and Preet also attended only few of the sessions. So I can take beginning sessions for all of you. Yeah, so we'll continue this Tableau session 9. So we are going to discuss about string functions and how to create it in Tableau. So in Tableau session 8, we have discussed about number functions and few of the string functions. Now we are going to see few other string functions in detail. Yeah. So now we'll see this session is completely 2 or 3 sessions will be mostly on the functions. So it will be mostly on functions, on how to use these functions in the Tableau. So there are only like 30 to 40 functions which we mainly use. So those functions I'm explaining it, and you can use it in your calculations and all. So now let's see how we can make use of replacement function. So let's go to the Tableau. So let's take customer name and example. Write calculation as replace, and take the customer name field. I want to replace, let's say wherever there is AR, I want to replace it with BR or BK, something like this. So, so if you see Aaron Bergman, so in the spelling, it will check for AR value and it will replace that AR value with BK. This is like this. Yeah. So you have this ABK, like AR replaced with BK. So wherever there is AR, it is replaced with BK. So I will tell you one real-time scenario. So to help you understand that, so I will create a calculation field. Okay, so I will create a email with this customer name. So to create that email, create, I'll split it first. I'll split these two names, customer name, go to transform and click on split. So, uh, so we have first name and last name, and it got split into two names, Aaron and Bugman. So we got two names. So with this first name and last name, I'm going to create a email ID. So I'll take this first name and I'll add so I'll take the first name and second name, and I will add @gmail.com for that. So with this customer name, I'm going to prepare email ID. So for that, what I'm doing, so I'm taking first name and last name, I'm combining it together, and at the end, I'm adding @gmail.com. So this is email ID. Okay, say okay and click on it. Okay. So what happens? So Aaron and Bergman had a space. So to remove that, what I have done is I have splitted this customer name into two different names, first name and last name. And later what I have done is I have combined it together. So how did I combine? I have combined it with by using plus. And later at the end, I want to keep @gmail.com. So you need to use one more plus symbol, and in the single quotes you can write @gmail.com. So this is, let's say you have data like this, like in the data file also. So you will get one more column that will get added, which is email ID column. Yeah. So this column got added, which, so whatever calculation that you create, so that will create a column in Tableau. So now that we have created @gmail.com, so let's say in Excel data source or in Oracle data source, you got this @gmail.com. But so let's say they have updated, or Gmail have updated that gmail.com into some other name. So I want to replace Gmail with uh, yahoo.com. So I'll just write a calculated field, replace scenario based. So I'm just giving you a scenario where we can use replace function. So replace email ID. So wherever you see @gmail.com, I want that to be replaced with @yahoo.com. Okay, yeah. So now I want to replace this with that. So I'll just say okay. Click on this. Yeah. So wherever you see @gmail.com, right? Now it got replaced with @yahoo.com. So in such type of scenario, we'll make use of replace function. Now let's talk about right. So in the previous session, we have discussed about left function. So now I'll explain you about right function. So in the name itself, you can identify that. So right customer name. So I want to see, so from right side, I want to see 4 letters. So I'll just write it as 4. Say apply and make it as a column. Okay, you can see the last 4 letters. Or let's say if you want to see only 5 letters, say apply. So now you have 4 letters. When you say apply, you'll get last 5 letters. So even, I mean, in this type of scenario, let's say in some scenario, you want to replace some gmail.com with yahoo.com. And in some cases, let's say you got some 20 letters of data or 30 letters of customer name, and which you don't want to show that much lengthy information, and you want to restrict that column to some 6 letters or 7 letters. So then you can restrict with this combination where you will get the last 7 letters of the column. So this way we can make use of the right function. and rtrim. So rtrim is nothing but, so in normally the data will have spaces or null values. So data might not be in the right way as we want. So sometimes you will get spaces in the starting, or sometimes you get spaces at the ending. So to remove that spacings, so we use the function called rtrim. So if you have spaces at the right side, so you create a rtrim calculation so that right side spaces will be removed. So for that, I'll create one more calculation field. Create calculation field. So let's take this first split, or let's take the customer name only. Let's create a new one. So subcategory will take. Okay, these are the subcategories that we have. First of all, I will create a data with spaces. Subcategory. So to add spaces in the beginning and after, so you will have to add spaces. So put the space in single quotes and just add. So if you add the strings, it will not add as mathematical calculations. It will just write side by side. And I want to add space at the end also. Subcategory with spaces. Okay. Say okay. Okay, so now we got spaces. So there is a space at the end and there is a space at the starting as well. Okay. So that you can identify with there is a little bit gap you could see here. And when you select the whole part, and there is a little bit gap after this accessories also. I'm just doing Control A. So there is a space after that. So if you select this normal subcategory, which doesn't have any spaces in it, I did a Control A. So there are no spaces towards your left and towards your right. So this is when you have data coming like this. So to avoid that, we use a function called rtrim. So rtrim of subcategory. So this is a calc. So okay, to know the difference between the field that is coming from the data source and the field that we created. So if you see an equal to symbol before ABC, then that means that is created by us. That is a calculation. And if you see only ABC, that means that is a string value which is coming from the data source. So now let's take subcategory. Okay, so R trim means it will only trim on the right side. So click on this, make use of this, and just right click on this and it say edit alias. Control A. So if you see there is no gap after S, that means the spaces after prefix of that accessories or subcategories that got removed. And let's say if you want to remove the spaces before the subcategory, there is also a function called ltrim. So ltrim is nothing but it will remove the spaces before the subcategory. That will remove the spaces before subcategory. So let's just click on that. Say ltrim. And right click on this, say edit alias. Okay, so it just removed spaces before the accessories. And if you see there is a space, little space after S. So that means right side space it didn't remove. So to remove both the spaces, so there also we can use a function called trim function. The trim function is nothing but it will remove both the spaces. So this is basically cleaning the data. To clean the data, we use rtrim, ltrim, and trim. So basically, rtrim removes spaces on the right side of the columns, and unnecessary spaces. So which we don't require. So that those spaces it will remove. And ltrim, it removes unnecessary spaces on the left. Trim is nothing but removes unnecessary spaces left and right. So if you have spaces on the left and right, so trim will remove both the spaces. So let's create trim. Click on trim and let it tell us. So this will remove all the spaces. Yeah. So that is about ltrim, rtrim, and trim. So this calculation is to add the spaces. Let's say we have customer name, which is separated with one space, and we have customer name split and customer name split too. So instead of one space, I want to separate it with 10 spaces. Okay. Combined customer name. So I want to combine with 10 spaces. So customer name split 1 plus space of 10 spaces I need, I will enter 10, and plus customer name split 2. Say apply and take C name. Okay, now there is a space between Aaron Bergman and Aaron and Bergman. So that is of 10. So if you want to, you can give manually also without that function. So that you need to do manually. You need to count the space 10 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So instead of manually calculating it, so you just write space of 10. So you will get 10 spaces. Or if you write 3 spaces only, then you'll get only 3 spaces like this. So that is the use of space function. Yeah, we have already discussed about split function. Like if you want to split based on the, let's say, like Aaron Bergman. So I want to see Aaron separate and Bergman separate. What I will do, I'll just do right click on this and create transform the split. Or else we have created a email ID. So I'll just show you one example for email ID. Okay, so now here I want to see only the name, like this for Aaron Bergman and @gmail.com, and I want to split it based on the @. Just right click on that, click on transform, click on custom split. So I want to use the separator. So I want the separated as @ and split off first one. I want this name part, which is first name and last name, and say okay. So you got this. So only the first part you can see. Or if you want to see custom split, I want to see the second part. So click on use the separator as at the rate and click on last, or you could say, yeah, you can say split of last column. Okay. Yeah, so you can get the second one. So likewise, you can split the different values. And sometimes you'll get Aaron underscore Bergman underscore at the rate gmail.com and all. Like you have continuous names. So in the PPT, we have that example. Like you have A dash B dash C dash 2. Like you want the second part. So you can write split of that column and use a separator, whichever is the separator, and mention which part you want. You want the first one or the second one or the third one or fourth one, that you can decide. So that is about split function. And now we'll see about stars. Yeah, correct. So these are the functions which you might require based on the requirement. So let's say I have shown you one example for gmail.com, right? So, okay, so let's say every time this Gmail is, I mean, we create email ID based on our first name and last name. So they have not given you that email ID information, and they might give you requirement something like that. Combine those two names and put at the rate at the gmail.com at the end. So then you can make use of combined field, or you can write a calculation like this. So I'm just telling you, these are the functions which are available. So depending on requirement, you might use one function or you might use all the functions which we are discussing. So now we will see starts with. Let's say I want to know how many number of customers names are starting with A, letter A. So I'll just write customer name and put A. So customer names. Okay, these many customers are there. I'll just take the count distinct. So there are 800 customers. In 800 customers, I want to know how many number of customers whose names are starts with A, letter A. So I'll just drag and drop this field. Okay, so true means nothing but that condition satisfied, and so based on that we can understand that there are 64 people whose name starts with A. And or if you want the real information, like if you can write a condition like this: if starts with customer name A equal to true, if this condition satisfies, then I want count of customers whose name starts with A. Else others. And okay. Okay, yeah. So here you can directly specify that the count of customers whose name starts with A. So there are 64 customers whose name starts with A. And you can see that names also. Type in customer name. Yeah, these are the customers. These are the 64 customers. Astria Jones, Ashley. So you can count it. So these are the 64 customers whose name starts with A. And let's go to the next slide. Okay, so we have discussed about trim functions. So if there are any spaces uh, towards your left, towards the left of the column or towards the right of the column, it will remove spaces from the left and right. So it is to clean the data. So, so how to create string function in Tableau? So we can create a string function by right clicking on the, so we can go to the create calculate field and click on string here. So these are the list of functions which are available. So we are discussing about each and every function one by one. So here I am showing an example of write function. So which is giving the right side values. Okay. So this is one of the scenario. Like if you have a data like this in your column, if you have order ID like this, like CA 2011 and 100006. So at the end, what you have is you want only this ID. So it is 7 letters or 6 letters. So you can take those 7 letters by using write function. So whatever is in the right side of the column, right side of the field, so you can pick that by using write function. Or you want only the left. So left part is showing you which region it is. Canada or USA, UK, all this information you are getting from the first 2 letters. So that also you can do with left function. So left of order ID, comma 2 if you write. So you'll get only these 2 letters. So that way you can make use of your functions. So I'll just take a pause here. So if you have any questions, or I will ask you a few of the questions from the topics that we discussed. Okay, Sandeep, can you tell me what is the importance of replace function? Yeah, perfect. Yeah, Lakshmi, can you tell me the importance of left function? Okay. Yeah. Okay. So whatever is there, let's say left column name, and you put some number, like 2 or 3 letters. So it will pick those 2 or 3 letters from the entire column. Yeah. Suganya, can you tell me what is, yeah. Okay. What is the starts function? Yeah, yesterday session only. Yeah. Okay. Can you tell me about starts with function? Mhm. Yeah, correct. Preet, can you tell me the usage of space button, space function? Yeah, how many number of spaces that we need, we can use that in the, well, yeah. So instead of manually selecting the spaces, so you can directly mention the number of spaces. Yeah, perfect. Yeah. Okay. Meenakshi, can you tell me the usage of trim function? Hello, Meenakshi, can you hear me? Yeah. Yeah. Perfect. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. We'll continue the next slides. Okay. So now we'll see how to create date calculations and how in how many ways we can make use of date functions and all. So now let's discuss. Okay. Okay. So date has multiple features in a Tableau. So date itself can drill down into many ways. So if you have a date field, it will help you in many different ways. So I'll show you. So let's see how the date is in the data. If we go here, yeah. So if you have the date in the date format, we will have multiple options. So whenever you drag date to the column shelf, so you will get it as year of order date, and that you will see in the blue pill. So when you see blue pill, that means it's in discrete mode, and this is the only column that you can convert into continuous mode. So this is the only dimension which you can use it as discrete and continuous. So rest all other dimensions you can't use it as a continuous mode. Why? Because you will not have any access for other dimensions. You can't have access. So only flow and continuous will be available for date functions. Okay, so now let's see how many ways we can make use of date. Okay, first of all, likewise for what we have done for this location and all. So country can be drilled down to region, region can be drilled down to state. So in states we'll have cities, so we can drill down to cities. The cities will have postal codes. In the same way, date also has one order. So in years we will have quarters, in quarters we'll have months, in months we'll have days. So this is an hierarchy for dates. So if you give the data in date format, then you can make use of all these functionalities which is available for date. So if you want to drill up, you click on this. So even user can drill down and drill up based on this. Yeah. And we have lot many options and lot many date functions which are available. So now let's see what all we can do. Ravi. Yeah, inbuilt it will be in hierarchical mode. Yes. So it is only one column. So usually for others, if you take location, right? So these are different columns. You are making a hierarchy. Yeah. So for order date, it is. So this you can't call it as a hierarchy. This is a drill down option. Drill down option which is there for order date. And in hierarchy also you can do drill down and drill up. So that is one. Yeah. And we can have multiple things. Let's say, okay, you can see year, you can see quarter data, you can see month of order date. So let's see. So what all information we can convert into. Okay, now I'm taking order date. into rows, and I'm seeing sales. Okay, so this I'm able to see year-wise information. Year-wise information. Year-wise sales. In other sheet, I want to see order date and sales. Okay, so I have different options. So you have year, quarter, month, day, and more. And here also you have year, quarter, month, week number, and day. So these are not duplicated or something. So there is a functionality for these four and these four. So there is a functionality. So let's see for quarter. So if I use quarter here and make this as discrete. So year and quarter. So year and quarter information will be stored in this. So month and quarter. So month and year, week and year, day and year. Every time year will be attached to the other quarter, month, or week number. But in case of this one, so year will not be attached. So it will show you only the quarters. So quarter one of 2014, sorry, 2020, 21, 2022, 2023. So it will show you all the quarter, I mean, it will hold all years Q1 data, and it holds all years Q2 data like this. So likewise for months also. So in 4 years, what is the January value? In 4 years, what is the February value? Like that. And if you go here, quarter and year. So it is a combination of year and quarter. Discrete. Yeah. So that is the main difference. Oh, okay. Is it audible now? Okay. Yeah. So let me know if anyone have faced any issues in the audio or in screen sharing. Yeah. So that is about how to create the quarter and this thing. So I will show you for all these four at once. So I have done for Q quarter, and I'll make a copy. I'll do it for month. Yeah. So this will hold Q1 nothing but January, February, March. Q2 nothing but April, May, June, like this. And I'll keep year also. So year, yeah. So in 2020, I have 4 quarters. So in 1 quarter, I have 3 months each. And I'll take a, so what I'm doing is control selecting this and making a copy. And right click on this and put week number. So in each week, I have 4 to 5 weeks. So sorry, in each month, I have 5 weeks. And now I want to see day. Okay, so in this, wherever you see, you have year is attached to. Quarter and year is there, month and year is there. Here, week and the year is there. Here in the day also, what is the day? So that month and day and year is there. So this is about with year. So that means this part will have all the information. And now we will see about these 4. So let's take order date and right click on this. So this is here, and I'll just control select this one and put it next to that. Right click on this and make it quarter. Okay. So if you don't put this year of order date, what happens is it says sales is there. Okay. So that means it will have only quarters in Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4. So if I remove this year of order date, what happens is it will do a sum of all the Q1s and it will give you 366,493 for Q1 data. For Q1, it is 366,493. So in the same way, for Q2, what it will do, it will add this all the years information and it will store in the Q2. So yeah, so the main purpose of this is to store all the quarters information together in all the years. And now let me make a copy of this one. Even if you see the difference between these two, this in the name also it is contained with year and quarter, but in the name here you don't see year, you just see Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4. And when you convert it to month, you just see month, January, February, March. Here you will see with year, month and year. Here you won't see that. And convert this to day. So you can see only the day. So what if I do remove all these things? So if I remove these things, okay, what is the value of, what is the sales value in each and every month, each and every year on first, what is the sales? So to know that, so I will just on first of every month in every year, what is the value? So that will be summed up and it will be shown here. So that is the purpose of these values. Like if you want to see by month for all the years, by quarter for all the years, so you can make use of this functionalities. For this, it will be combined. So it will combine with year. For year, for quarter, it will combine quarter and year. For month, it will combine month and year. Here for week, it will combine week and year. For day, it will combine day, month, and year. So this way, you will have each and every thing. In this, you will have only that particular information. Year means only you will have years. Quarter means you will have only quarters of all the years. Month means month of all the years. Day means day of all the years. Without or specific to the field, you can say. So that is the usage of date format. Okay, yeah. So there are some functions that we can use. Let's say, okay. So there is a function called date trunc. Okay, so by default, without knowing this function also, we have just right clicked on that particular thing. So it's basically selecting month from this. So date trunc means I want month and year information. So basically date trunc returns month and year or quarter and year. So you can specify that function. So in Tableau, we have this field, this date part. We call this as a date part. So there are date parts like month, quarter, you can make use of this calculation for. So this you will still need to be used as like this. Okay, so month of order date we'll see. Okay, so month we can say, and you can write quarter also. So this is one date part, month is one date part, and week is also one date part. Day. Okay, so you can see the calculation is valid. If you are using if you are using, like if it is not a date part, let's say you mentioned days. So that's not a date part. Argument days to date trunk must specify a date part. So you can use year, which is a date part. You can use that. Quarter you can use, and you can use month, and you can use week, which is valid, and you can use day. Basically what it does is it will just show you data like this. So if you click on quarter, you are able to see quarter and year. So that is based on date trunk calculation, date trunk of quarter order date. So whenever you right click on any date of field, so inside it is writing that date trunk calculation. And for month, so it will write month. So it will truncate the data of month and it will show you. And for week, it is writing week. It's just you have this function is similar and only the date part is getting changed. For year, it has written as year only. Only the date part is getting changed. So I'll just copy. Okay, so for all this, you can use one for quarter, and this has to be small letters. Month, week, day. And we can go to the next one. So here it will write a different calculation. So this is giving you only what is the value of sale amount first of every month in the every year. So that information is showing you. So it will just take the date part. Date part. Similarly, for month, if you want to do, just right click and click on the month. So what it will do, it will just change the date part. The date part only will get changed. So we can write similarly for. So date part is similar. Like you can use the same date part. Month, week, year, quarter. So these two are date functions. Date trunk. Yeah. Mhm. Yeah. You want only first month sales. Mhm. Yeah, if you see this one, right? So this is giving you all the years value. I'll just show you. Order date. Yeah. So the in January, what is your sum? It will be 96,070. So that is giving you based on the date part calculation. So basically it contains all the years in it. This January is from all the years. Yeah. Even if it is a day, discrete. No, both are not same. So date part will show for all the years. So let's say if I select day, so in first of every month, every day, every year, it is calculating this thing. But in case of, let's say, I will show you same one. What if you do day here and what if you do day there? Discrete. So this is day, date trunk, and this is date part. Okay. So this is showing you 1st of January 2020, what is the value? What is the sales amount? But this is showing you only first value. I mean, first of every month, every year sales. That means first in every year, and I'll put month also so that you will understand. Yeah. So in each and every month you will have first. So what is the 1st February sales? What is the 1st March sales? So all those getting added, and it is showing you on in the one. In case of this one, can you repeat that? Day trunk. This one only day trunk. Okay, 1 second. Let me write it down. This is date part. Hmm. Ha. Okay. I have used here only. Yeah. Yeah. Hmm. So it's a order date, right? So there are no orders in that date. Maybe it's a holiday. Yeah. So it's first of January. There are no orders. So this date one is storing the value of all the years and all the months of sales, and you are getting this value amount. But in case of date trunk, so here also I have selected day. So on 1st of January 2020, what is the value? So that value I can see. So okay. So let's take an example of month over here, and in the same way we'll take an example of month here. Okay, so January. So order date. Yeah. So all the years values of January will be stored in here. So date with the date part, we can see January values will be stored for all the years. And in case of date trunk, so you can see that separation. So January 2020, February 2020, April 2020, all these separations you could see in each and every month. Yeah. So in the same way, you can do it for quarter. Let's see for quarter. So same way we'll change for date part 2. Sorry. Okay, so here you don't have the combination of year and quarter. So this Q1 includes 2021, 2022, 2023 data. So that how we can decide. So all these 4 years Q1 is stored in this one. But in case of date trunk, you can see it separately. 2021 Q1 is separate. So basically what the other sheet is doing is, it is combining all Q1s and showing one value, which is 366493. So you can see that only the Q1, I mean quarters data. So date part means it is taking that quarter information and it is showing you. But date trunc means it is truncating quarter and year. So it will combine quarter and year information. So is it clear? Like, do you have any confusion? Okay. So, I mean, those are the date calculation that we have. So not only those things, so we have many functions, many other functions. So we'll continue with that in the next session also. And I will give you more examples to understand the difference between this 4 and this 5. And I'll come up with a few more examples to help you understand more better. So we also have a function called date diff. So basically what it does is it finds the difference between one date and the other date. Yeah. So how do you want to find the difference? You want to find the difference based on the month or days or years? So that we can find with the date difference. Date diff. So let's take, I have subtracted ship date and order date. So I'll take these two dates. I'll put it in the quarter, I mean row cell. Let's select month, make it discrete. Select month, make it discrete. Okay, so I have this thing. So now I have calculated the difference. Yeah. So I'm just calculating the difference between two different dates, and I want the difference based on month. So how many months are there between ship date and order date? So let's say January 2020. So if you subtract January 2020 with January 2020, you'll get 0 months. So there are no months in between. And you have February 2020, January 2020. Why it is being like that? Okay, let me do an average. Okay. So sometimes what happens is that, so you might end up having these multiple rows. So it will show you for each and every row -1 it will show you, and that will add up. So that's why when doing any subtraction or using any mathematical function, so it's better you do an average. So February minus January, so you get a -1. That means this is bigger and you're subtracting with the other one, so you get -1. And February, you do it, you'll get a 0. So this way we can find the difference between two different months. And yeah, not only months, we can subtract years also. Like in this case, 2021 minus 2020, you will get like -1 or +1. Like if it is higher, you will get -1. If this is the lower, you will get +1. So let's change this to year. So all this year, quarter, so date parts are year, quarter, month, week, day. So to make usage of date functions. So all these date functions. So you should know these date parts. So you will be using in these functions, you will make use of this date parts. So if you want to use date add or date diff, date name, so we'll use all these date parts. So now let's do with year. Say okay. Okay, so 2022 2020 minus 2020, you will get 0. So most of the places year is same, you get 0. And 2021 minus 2020, you get -1. So this way we can find the differences also. And yeah, so in the next session, we will discuss about deep about the date functions, and I'll show you how dates is very important in Tableau, and I will show you the filters also on how to use date in the next session. So yeah, so you can ask if you have any questions. Okay. Ravi, can you tell me what does date diff do? Date diff function. Mhm. Yeah, correct. Okay, Sandeep, can you tell me how we can do drill up and drill down in Tableau for date functions? Okay, Lakshmi, can you tell me how we can do drill up and drill down in Tableau for dates? Yeah, so we can expand and collapse from year to quarter, quarter to month, and month to day like this. Okay, so that's about today's session. So any questions? I'll just take a pause for 1 minute and then we can wrap up the session. Okay, then thank you all for joining. We'll continue tomorrow. Thank you. Share your